Beth, and I'm just gonna do your basic all levels class, head to toe. Try to get all the major muscle groups, try to get some lengthening and some strengthening in and some centering, and hopefully we'll all leave with a more comfortable mind and body. So that's Juno, my dog, over there. Hopefully she'll be pretty chill. She's pretty old, so I can't imagine her not being chill, but couldn't leave her home today, so she came with me to the studio. She seems to be pretty excited about it. All right. So begin on your back, lying down, getting comfortable, and starting to settle into your space. Trying to adjust anything that might not be comfortable or at rest. So maybe you need to bend your knees, maybe turn your knees in towards one another. Maybe a Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together and the knees apart is really where it's at for you to center today. Or maybe you're in a classic final Shavasana pose or corpse pose. Wherever you are, start to notice all of the points of contact that your body has with the ground. And then notice that those points of contact have gravity. And notice that each exhale gives you this opportunity to sink in towards the gravity, noticing that you feel supported, noticing that you're being held by the ground. Try not to rush it. Let it have value. Good, and then begin to deepen the breath, drawing the inhale all the way down to the base of the lungs, and try to enjoy the sensation of the ribs pressing out and the chest rising up and the lung tissue filling the rib cage. And on the exhale, try to really completely exhale. This is something we habitually don't do. So the inhale draws all that breath in and up, and the exhale, get completely down to empty and let yourself sink down. And just notice this pattern for maybe 3 to 5 breaths, depending on the length of your breath. Taking your time, noticing the little subtleties of the breath. Maybe you're a little congested, maybe you're a person that has allergies, maybe that's living in your sinuses, or maybe you have something else going on, maybe there's some tightness in your chest or some constriction somewhere in the throat. Try to notice it without judgment and just try to be as honest as you can be about how it feels to be specifically here. Good. And then on the next inhale, draw the breath in as deeply as you can. At the top of that breath, hold it. Gently crack the lips. Exhale. Inhale, draw the breath in deeper than the last breath. We're kind of incrementally building space. So notice the chest rises up and the side ribs push out, and then hold it there, maybe even drawing a little bit more breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Inhale. Deeper than the last one. Deeper and deeper and deeper. Hold. Wide open mouth, let it go. Good. Next inhale, start to reach your legs long and your arms long. So if your arms weren't, or your legs weren't already extended, let those stretch long on the ground, point through the toes, reaching the fingers away from the toes, shoulders away from the ears, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, circle the wrists and circle the ankles. Inhale. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Squeeze the knees down. So start to notice that the low back can stay flat as you pulse the knee in. Good, and then take this to a half happy baby. So your peace sign fingering either the big toe, or you can hold on to the outer or inner edge of the foot or the back of the knee, whatever suits your fancy. Start to move this leg around. Try not to lift up through that right shoulder, keeping the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Try to be very aware of the sensation. So not so much goal oriented here, just noticing the sensation of the pose. Good. And then send that leg straight up to the sky. At this point, you might want to use your strap and then just take, or your strap-like thing, and take it and loop the ball of the foot and hold on to the strap in your right hand here, or hold on anywhere on the leg with the right hand. So you can go back to the big toe, you can hold on to the calf muscle or the back of the hamstring, whatever suits you. Inhale here. Left hand goes to the front of the left hip. On the exhale, slowly draw this right leg to open, keeping that left side planted. Only go as far as your hip thinks is nice and your inner thigh thinks is permitted. Don't push it, and don't be afraid to micro bend the knee if you need to. Inhale. Exhale, slowly move through center. So legs straight up again. Switch your grip. So if you're using a strap or a belt, use your left hand to grab it. Otherwise, left hand goes to somewhere on the outer edge of the right leg, keeping the low back grounded. So you're not going to let yourself dump. Slowly bring this leg across the body, just an inch or two, and then maybe another inch or two. But just to that point where the IT band on the outer edge of the hip starts to say hello. Inhale. Exhale, flex through the heel. Inhale. Exhale, flex through the heel. Inhale. Exhale, a little bit of a push through the heel. Good, and then straight up, both hands alongside the body. Let that strap go if you're using a strap. Pressing through the heel. And then drawing the navel to the spine, slowly pushing the heel away as it comes down. Navel to spine. Good, point through the toes, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Squeeze it in. Notice, how does it feel? Can you keep the low back grounded? Good, half happy baby. So whatever your fancy is, holding on wherever the leg wants you to hold it, and just moving the leg, trying to keep this right side of the body grounded. Good. Leg to the sky. Left hand goes somewhere either on the strap, on the ankle, on the toe, keeping this right side of the body grounded. Inhale. On the exhale, slowly open to the left. Keeping a soft bend in the knee if that is what serves you. Don't be afraid to do that. Keeping the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Soften that space between the eyebrows. Good, slowly guide it up. Switch your grip. Right hand goes to either the strap or the leg. Slowly guide it across the body. Just enough that you feel the IT bend, so the low back stays grounded. This is not a spinal twist. This is getting into the outer edge of the leg. Flex through the heel on each exhale. Notice the sensation increase. Good. And then back to center, flex through the heel, navel to the spine, slowly draw it forward as you draw it down. Right before it touches the mat, press it just a little bit further away, and then let it go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, both knees into the chest. Find full happy baby. So hands wherever they serve, rock a little side to side. This time letting your tailbone curl up away from the mat a little bit. Good. One more breath in happy baby. And then drawing knees back into the chest, squeeze them deeply. And rock all the way up to a seat. Finding a moment to find a comfortable seat. And noticing your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice where the breath is living in the body. Maybe it's up very high. Maybe you've already started to take it really deeply down into the bottom of the lungs, and it's moving the belly, and it's moving the side body, and it's moving the back, but wherever it's moving, notice it. Good. And our breath today is going to be alternate nostril breathing. A nice way to synchronize both sides of the brain, helps clear away brain fog, helps memory and cognition, definitely helps calm the nervous system, so gets the blood flow to the edges of the body, helps the rest and digest hormones be released, reduces cortisol and adrenaline in the bloodstream. So it's a really nice thing to do at the beginning of a yoga practice or literally any time. It's a great thing to do anytime. And we're going to do a basic version of the breath. Ring finger and thumb are what's used here. The pointer and middle finger can tuck into the palm or can rest on the third eye or the forehead, depending what is comfortable for you. Rest the forearm on the chest. So you're not clenching in the neck and shoulders. You're not making this really effortful. You're doing as much with an effortlessness as possible. So close the first nostril under the ring finger. Inhale deeply. Close and retain. Exhale under the nostril that was under the ring finger. Inhale, same nostril. Close both nostrils. Open the nostril under the thumb. Exhale. Inhale. Close both, hold breath. Exhale under the ring finger. Inhale. Hold. Exhale under the thumb. Inhale, same side. Close both, hold. Exhale under the ring finger. Inhale, same side. Close both and hold. Exhale under the thumb. Inhale. Close both and hold. Hands down, exhale. Soften the shoulders. Roll out and shrug through the shoulders, let the neck and the jaw be soft. Good. Take the arms straight out of the shoulders, palms face forward, thumbs up, wiggle the fingers, circle the wrists. Good. And then start to close the shoulder blades behind you, lift the heart, open up the arms as wide as you can. Inhale. Exhale, right arm on top of left, squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, left on top of right, squeeze. Inhale, open. Right on top of left, exhale. Inhale. Left on top of right. Good. Shrug off the shoulders, throw the work off the hands, and come into a table position. Junior, you're going to have to go. I really don't want the face right up in your bum. Go. Come on. Go ahead. Go. Table position. Taking your time, stacking everything up. And then beginning to slowly move through cat and crow. Allowing your spine to be articulate, doing your best not to judge the sensation. If you find little stagnant bits of energy,
Just let them slowly go. And if you can't, just trust that the practice will help. Good, now we're going to take this to the forearms. So it's the same basic movement, but with the elbows where the wrists were. So elbows stacked right below the shoulders. Keep the whole forearms, the whole of the forearms really active. So fingertips, wrist, elbow, all of it pressed into the ground. Start to move through this modified version of cat and cow. Really pushing the elbows into the ground and notice how that feels differently in the shoulders. Good. And then stay in modified cow pose. So the chest reaches forward. Draw the elbows back energetically. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away. Modified cat pose. Tuck the pelvic bone, navel to spine. Press the hips back to the heels. Child's. Give yourself a moment in child's to feel that sense of reaching through the tailbone. Walk the fingertips forward. Inhale, slide the chest forward, up and through cobra. Take the hands away from the ground. Press the tops of the feet into the ground. Activate the quadriceps. That should make your kneecaps hover a little bit. And tiny little pulses here. So only using the strength of the back and not trying to push past anything that your muscles are eager to do. Draw the elbows back. Once more. Inhale, stay as high as you can. Open mouth, exhale. Hands down. Toes tucked. Nice and slow, moving through bent knees all the way up, downward dog. Wag the tail. Good, slowly bend the knees, taking it all the way back down to table. Finding cow pose, pressing the chest forward, letting the saddle of the back hang. Inhale. Good, tuck the chin, scoop the belly, tuck the pelvic bone, cat pose, exhale. Hips to heels, child's. Walk the fingertips forward, slide the chest forward, up and through. Cobra, take the hands away from the ground. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. This time, hands down, just a tiny bit of support in the hands. You're not pressing too hard. Lift, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Move through bent knees. Downward dog. Wag the tail. Good. Slowly drop the knees. Find cow pose. Find cat pose. Find child's pose, this time holding child's for a moment and starting to build a thread the needle. So drawing this left arm underneath the right armpit, coming onto the left temple, and then starting to decide how your thread the needle is really craving to be built here. So maybe you lift the hips a little bit. Maybe you take that right arm up. Maybe you reach towards the opposite hip crease. Maybe you just use this right hand as leverage to press the ground away and stack the shoulders. Breathe here. Good. One more breath. And then slowly release. Hips to heels. Child's. On your next inhale, slide the chest forward, up and through. Cobra. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Good. Press the hips all the way back to the heels. Child's. We're going to slide forward and through into Cobra and back into Child's 3 times. Create as much fluidity as you can. Chest forward, up and through Cobra. Scoop the belly, hips to heels. Child's. Forward, up and through Cobra. Hips to heels. Child's. Once more, as much fluidity as you can make. So nothing rigid or sharp. Good. Next time you're in Child's, hold. Take that right arm underneath that left armpit, coming onto that right temple, right shoulder area, and then start to adjust. Maybe lift the hips. Maybe use that left hand to press the ground away. Maybe reach that arm around and through. Feeling the sense of gravity under the right shoulder and temple. Breathe. I don't know if you guys can see my dog, but she's so freaking cute here on that fancy cushion. Slow release, she knows what I'm talking about her. Finding cow pose, pressing the chest forward and through, reaching for the chin, tuck the toes, downward dog. Wag out the tail. Deep inhale. Open mouth exhale. Good. Step, spring, hop, float, fly, whatever gets you there to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Start to notice how it feels to be folding. Pop your knees up a little bit. Rock your weight towards your toes. Roll out the shoulders. And then with as much of a bend in the knees as you need, press the heels into the mat. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Find your forward hold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forehead towards shins. One more time. Inhale, halfway up. Length. Exhale, fold. Good. Deep enough bend in the knees to support the reverse swan dive all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. And then slide your hands to your heart. Thumbs to the chest, heels to the mat. Breathe. This is a nice time to set an intention if you want one for the practice. Hopefully you're centered enough on the sensations of your body that your mind isn't moving a million miles an hour. Maybe you want to give some thoughts to how you want this practice to feel, how you want it to affect your mind, your body, or maybe your world. You can give the energy of this practice away to someone who might need it. Taking a breath into your intention if you build one. And then releasing the hands, flipping the palms, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Good, step the right leg back. As far away as you can get it, keep hips width apart. Anchor the right hand, left knee, draw the chest forward as you press the heel back, rotate through the spine. Navel towards the inner thigh, lift that left arm up. Inhale here. Exhale, reach the left arm as far forward as you can. Draw the shoulder blade away. Good, take it all the way back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale, both hands to the inside edge of this left foot. Nuzzle this right knee down. Slide that left hip back. Half Hanuman. This is a great place for blocks if you want blocks. So blocks would be under each hand. Frame the forward foot. So left hand on the outer edge of that left leg. Navel to spine, draw the left hip into its socket. Fold over the left leg, breathe. Perfect place to stay here. Or you can start to build a little bit of a twist here. Right hand stays, left hand starts to move backwards. Maybe once you start to do that, you have the inclination to bring that right hand to the outer edge of that left foot. And then walk these hands towards the back of your mat only as much as it feels nurturing to both the hamstring and the spine. Inhale. Exhale, right hand comes back to the inside edge if it has moved to the outer edge. Bend this right knee. It's your left knee, I'm sorry. And start to lift the chest up. So we're in a low lunge here. Roll out the shoulders. Stacking this left knee on top of the heel. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale. Exhale. Good, hands down. Step the front to the back, plank position. Noticing your plank for a moment. Pressing every fingertip into the ground. One more breath. Good, and then coming to the left forearm and coming to the right forearm. Noticing your breath here. Trying to draw the side belly into the midline. Trying to draw the pelvic floor up to the navel. Good, now tiny little bits of rocking on the balls of the feet. Little bit, forward and back, forward and back. Good, and then come to the tops of the feet, the knees, the hips. Drag the chest forward and through Sphinx pose. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Bringing the face down, sliding the hands back, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath here, wag tail. Good, right leg comes forward. Feet are as far apart as you can get them, keeping them hips width apart. Left hand anchors, right hand comes to the right knee. Think about the length of the spine first. So think about how much distance you can get from the crown of the head all the way back through that back heel first, and then start to rotate. Once you rotate, notice that the right ribs are stacked on top of the left, keeping this knee stacked on top of the heel. Take that right arm up. Reach it forward, reach, reach, reach. Reach it back. Couple more times. Good, next time it reaches forward, drop that right hand to the inside edge of the right foot. Drop that left knee down. Slide it back. Pull blocks in if you want some blocks. That will help keep you from feeling crunched if you're crunched. Right hand goes to the outer edge of the right foot. Sliding the leg into the hip socket. Sticking out here, or maybe inching that left hand just a little bit in as you inch that right hand back. And then maybe left hand comes towards the outer edge of that right leg. Good. Reframe the foot. Stack the knee on top of the heel. Start to lift up into your low lunge. Sink into the pelvic bone. Press into that front heel. Really dynamic push there. Inhale with the arms. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Good. Frame the forward foot. Step it back. Plank position. Push the ground away. A little bit of an arch in the upper spine. Deep breath. Good, this time rock a little bit forward and back on the balls of the feet in plank. Good, and then hold steady. Come to the right forearm, left forearm, forearm plank. Deep breath. Draw the pelvic floor up and into the navel. Draw the navel back and into the spine. Draw the side belly into the midline. Breathe here. Rock a little forward and back. Good, and then coming down into Sphinx pose, drawing the elbows back, chest forward. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good, bringing the head down, sliding the hands back, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Exhale. Good, bend the knees, gaze forward, step, hop, spring, fly, float, whatever feet to the front of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forehead towards shins. Deep enough bend in the knees to reverse swan dive safely all the way up. Hands to the heart. Pause. Notice where you are. Notice how it feels to be where you are. Gather up little bits of the sensory experience. Good, taking one one deep, slow breath into your intention if you set one. Trying to translate that thought into a feeling. What does it feel like to hold this intention? Is it kind? Is it courageous? Is it patient? What does it feel like? And then releasing the hands, flipping the palms, lifting, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. All the way down. Step the right foot back, drop it at a 45-degree angle. Lift your hands to your hip points, keeping that left knee bent. Warrior one-ish type legs. For most women in particular, to find a comfortable warrior one with square hips, you might need to take some width on the mat. So taking your feet apart width-wise might help square the hip. And when you square the hip, you'll feel a stretch at the front of this. It's your right hip in this situation. Draw that left hip in. Think about the pelvic floor lifting. If you feel tightness in your back, lift up out of it a little bit. And if that means a little bit less of a bend in that front knee, that's okay. You can also experiment with taking your feet a little further apart lengthwise on the mat too. But play with your foot posturing, because that really does kind of permit the squareness of the hips and the lift up out of the waist, which is important for this pose. Very important. One of the very fundamental roots of Warrior One is pressing that back heel really dynamically into the ground, away. This pose really changed for me when I heard the direction, go to a wall and push the heel into the wall as hard as you can and hold the pose. And then all of a sudden my whole body empowered itself to hold Warrior One. Still not my favorite pose, but now my body is more capable of holding the pose. So maybe go to the wall or act like there is a wall there. And then start to adjust through the pose. We're going to add on the back bend, but think about the back bend coming from the front of this right knee, all the way up through the front of that hip, lifting the ribs, maybe the arms come up. Hands can be at the heart. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down. Interlace the fingers to the low back. Draw the knuckles away. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Good. Left shoulder towards the inside of the left knee. Keep drawing the knuckles away from the neck. Let the head be heavy and passive, neck soft. Good, keep drawing that left hip back. Keep pushing that back edge of that right foot. Good, lifting up hands to hips. Straighten this left leg and hop the right foot in a little bit. Blocks might be your best friend for the next little bit. We're playing with pyramid pose. Draw the left hip into its socket, navel to spine, hands stay on the hips. Keep drawing this left hip back, bring the spine parallel to the ground. Inhale. Good, on the exhale, let yourself come down, either hands to blocks or the ground. Think about the outer edge of this left leg and draw an imaginary line from the ankle all the way to the head. And that arrow is pointing right up to the ceiling. So think about the energy moving that way. The outer edge of the leg is drawing into the hip socket. Keep breathing. Good. Right hand to the arch of the left foot, on a block or not. Left hand to the left hip crease, drop back, rotate through the chest. Revolving our Trikonasana, maybe that left hand comes up. Good. Once you're here, take that left hand forward, and then move it through back. Forward. Move it through back. One more time. Forward. Move it through back. Good. Frame the forward foot, folding over the leg. Start to walk the hands with or without blocks here, a little bit forward of the foot, pushing the weight into that left foot. Take the weight off of the right. Take the right foot as far to the left as you can. Press into that. It's your left heel. See if you can rise up. So you're in like a curtsy leg situation here. Lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, sink into that back knee, bending both knees a little deeper. Maybe the arms come up here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Frame the forward foot. Step that the right foot all the way back into a warrior one legs. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Exhale, hands down, left foot back, plank position. Deep breath. Rock a little forward and back. Good. Slowly drop the knees down. The knees should not be right below the hips, okay? Release the feet so that you're on the toenails, so that the top of the foot is grounded. Inhale here. Exhale, press back into a childish type pose. And then reaching the fingertips forward, press forward, elbows into the ribs, modified chaturanga, press it back. So we're going to do this about 5 times, keeping the triceps right alongside the ribs. I've lost count. I'm going to do one more after this one. Good. And then coming forward the same way and pausing, holding this modified chaturanga, pressing the tops of the feet down, pulse. Good. Press it back. Good, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Walk the fingertips forward, slide the chest forward, up and through cobra. Downward dog. Wait, exhale. Step the right foot forward, drop that left foot down, hands to hips. So, warrior one-ish type beginning on the other side. Press into that back heel. Think about starting to originate the back bend from the left knee, all the way up and through the front of that left hip. Draw that right hip back. Inhale, arms up. Keep that right knee bent. Keep lifting up out of the waist. Good. Neutralize the spine, hands come back. Interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles back. Fold right shoulder towards the inside of the right knee. Head is passive. Keep pushing to the back edge of that back foot, knuckles away from the head. Keep breathing. Good, and then slowly pressing the feet, lifting up, hands to hips, straightening this forward leg, hopping the back leg in, making sure you've got blocks if you want them. Hands to the hip points, drawing that right hip in, folding towards pyramid. And then when you're there, hands to the ground or the block. Don't be afraid to bend the knee if you need to, but keep the outer edge of this right leg drawing up. So that energy is moving from the push of the heel all the way into that extension of the hip. Keep breathing. Whew. My hamstrings are very tight today. I don't even know why, because I barely moved yesterday. Maybe that's why they're tight. Keep breathing. Good, and then bringing that left hand towards the inside edge of the right foot, right hand to the hip. This can be your pose right here. Or you can start to turn into a revolved triangle, right hand up. This can be your pose, or start to move the arm. The objective of the arm is to help the spine find a little bit more space. Maybe the shoulder will find a little bit more space. Keep breathing. Good. And then right hand comes down. Walk the hands ever so slightly forward. Weight comes to the right foot and hands. Take that left foot up. As far over as you can, as far back as you can. Lifting up into a curtsy pose. Inhale, maybe the arms come up. Exhale, knees come down. Keep breathing. Keep the shoulders dropping away from the ears. Keep the jaw soft. Good. Hands down. Take that that left foot back. Framing forward foot, step it back, plank position. Noticing your breath here. Good. Maybe you drop your knees and you repeat what we just did, the modified child, or chaturanga. Or maybe we're here in plank and you want to play around with full chaturanga. So test your elbows, make sure they're pointing towards the back of the room. Keep the triceps right up alongside the ribs. Rock yourself forward, fingertips active. Come down into chaturanga, hold. 3, 2, 1, tops of the feet, upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Holding downward dog, letting the head be heavy. Good, maybe narrow your stance a little bit. So feet might come just a tiny bit towards the hands. Press into the right palm, take the left arm, thread it under and through. Grabbing towards the right leg. Maybe you get a hold of it, maybe you don't. Maybe you're holding on to ankles, maybe you're reaching towards the hip, wherever feels good. Rotate. I call this one yogi checking the natural deodorant pose. Unwind. Opposite side. Good, unwind. Downward dog. Get to your most comfortable stance. So if you narrowed your stance, re-widen it. Shake out the hips a little bit. Roll through the spine a little bit. Good. And then we're going to dive forward into a cobra. So the elbows come in still. Inhale. On the exhale, elbows in, roll forward with control, cobra. Good, all the way back up. Downward dog. Again, elbows right into the rib cage. Roll forward, cobra. Downward dog. Again, elbows in. Cobra. Downward dog. One more time, go as slowly with as much control as you can. Elbows come in. Chest presses through. Nice and slow. Cobra. Good, childs. Circle up wrists. Coming slowly right back up into downward dog. Gaze forward, step, hop, spring, float, fly, whatever. Feet to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Halfway up. Forehead towards shins. Deep enough bend in the knees to reverse swan dive safely. Hands to the heart. Thumbs to the chest. Heels to the mat. Mind on the breath. Good, touch base with your intention, if you've got one. How does it feel? Release the hands, flip the palms, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Good. Step the right foot back. And do warrior one-ish type legs again. 45-degree angle on that back foot. Roll up the shoulders. Find your gaze forward. For you, if there's not a sleeping dog there, you can have blocks waiting for you. I might have to use Juna as a block here, but she's never minded before. She's not the most stable thing, but. So press into that front foot. Think about first the deep structural strength in your core. So it's called core for a reason. It's the center. It's what kind of Without it, we have no substance. So pull the pelvic floor, navel to the spine, side belly to the midline. All of those things nice and integrated. Press into the front heel. Start to tap this right foot up. And then see if you can power that leg towards the back of the mat. Nice straight spine here. Hinging forward. Don't be afraid to micro bend the standing leg. Finding a straight-ish line between the toes to the crown of the head. Mine is never really straight, so I mean, if you're looking at me like she said straight, she's not doing it. It's hard to get straight. That's the intention. That's the energy. Maybe your hands come down to blocks or a dog. Maybe your hands are at the heart. Maybe they go alongside your body. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the flying leg. Now, if your toe touches down on the way, that's no big deal. Otherwise, bringing the foot all the way forward. Breathe. From here, cross this right foot on top of the left. So we're in eagle legs. Sink, sink, sink. Good. Right arm under left. Eagle's pose. Draw the elbows together. Draw the inner thighs together. Sink into the hips. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Good. Extra challenge. Without touching the foot down, which I just did. Take it back. Warrior three. Good. Dropping the foot down, framing the forward foot. Heel toe this left foot. Over to the right. Pigeon. Ooh, feels nice. Rock the hips around. Good. Find whatever version of pigeon is your fave. If you don't have a fave, then maybe follow me. Pressing the pinky toe edge of that foot into the ground long enough to feel the engagement, and then softening. Softening the ankle, softening the inner thigh, softening the glute, spreading your chest forward. Letting yourself rest. Maybe resting in this pose necessitates a prop or two under your hips. One more breath. And then start to rock up. Rock your weight towards that left hip. Scoop this right leg forward. And then you're just going to swing it so that it's on the other side. So the knees are relatively stacked-ish. And then start to stack those knees. Walk the feet out to the sides. If this is not something that feels doable for you, try it with a cushion under your bottom. Folded up blanket, block even to lift you up, or you can just modify, and that's totally fine. Try to get contact of both sit bones to whatever you're sitting on though, whether that's a prop or the ground. Lift up through the chest, press into the feet. Inhale. Exhale, maybe fold. Don't move through anything suddenly sharp or hot. How much can you sink into this sensation? One more breath. Good. If you're folded, lift. Take this right leg all the way back. Finding pigeon. Anchor the hands. Step that left foot back, downward dog. Wag the tail. Good options here. Just get your feet on forward if that's what you'd like to do, or you can follow me in a couple more of those wave-like, push-up-like things that help strengthen the arms. So elbows right in, slide the chest with as much control as you have. Forward, up, and through cobra, this time all the way up, downward dog. Again, forward, up, and through cobra, all the way up, downward dog. Once more, forward, up, and through downward dog. Walk your feet, or step or float or fly, forward fold. halfway lift. All the way, forward foot. Reverse one up. Hands to the heart. Notice yourself. Don't just autopilot that. Let that directive be really important. Notice yourself. Good, release the hands, flip the palms, inhale. Exhale. Halfway. Exhale. Step the left foot back. Hands to hips. Get to know, where is my strength here? How can I engage it in a way that feels empowering and stabilizes a relatively unstable situation? Which, how, thematically accurate is that we all have to find this internal stability at a highly unstable time. Find that physically right now. Mentally too. But start physically. Pelvic floor, navel, side body. Juna hates when I make that sound, which is why I'm making it so much. Just waking her up. Tap the back toe. And then maybe fly that back foot. Power, power, power. If you give that leg a free ride, you'll tip over. Put your hands where they belong, wherever that is for your pose. And if that's down on your blocks or pet, whatever. Deep breath. Good, and then bending that flying knee, taking it forward and crossing it over, sinking into the hips. Try and keep drawing that left hip back, right arm underneath the left, eagle. Maybe that left toe wraps all the way behind the calf muscle, maybe not, breathe. Good, and then with a sense of control, send it back. Warrior three. And then drop it down, heel toe, this right foot to the left side. Pigeon. Lift and notice, and then lower and rest, or whatever version of pigeon is your favorite pigeon today. And then slowly lift, wrap this left leg around, stacking the knees, giving yourself whatever props you need here. It can be like emotional, energetic props too, like good job, you can do it. So cheesy. Sorry. Okay, press into the feet, press into the inner thighs. Inhale. Maybe you can fold without lifting up through the sit bones. If you can't, let that part go. If you can though, anchoring through the sit bones, holding. And then pressing all the way up. This time taking both legs in front of you. Popping out the knees, finding your sit bones. Lifting the arms up overhead, drawing the shoulder blades down, navel to spine, inhale. Exhale, fold. Letting your head be heavy, your neck be long. And then rolling up to a straight spine. And starting to curl through the spine, seeing if you can do this with control. Otherwise, we're just ending on our back. So if you want to get there, go ahead and get there. Otherwise, trying to notice a sense of control here, a really articulate release onto the back. Windshield wiper the feet. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Slowly draw it down across the body. Hop this bottom hip, so it should be your left hip, just slightly to the right. Reach that right arm. Good, come through center. Hug that right knee into the chest. And then let it go. Windshield wiper the toes. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Slowly draw it down across the body. Hop this right hip to the left. Reach that left arm out. Soften your thighs. Soft jaw. Inhale. Exhale, unwind. Drawing the knee into the chest. And then taking the legs long. Deciding what inversion suits your practice today. So maybe it's just legs at the wall. Maybe you're in an inverted action, supporting the low back with your hands. Maybe you slide a prop underneath the tailbone, like a pillow or a block to lift the legs to the sky. Whatever your pose might be today. Making sure that your cervical spine is supported. So not pushing yourself, I'm just gonna make sure I'm still on here. Making sure that you are feeling supported wherever you are. Touching base with your sense of intention, whatever that might be, and if you didn't have a specific one, let it just be how it feels to be here right now. And then slowly, releasing your inversion, scanning the body, and noticing if there's any closing or counter postures that you feel like you need. And then scanning the body and finding your most comfortable posture for final relaxation. Taking your time, noticing how it feels to be on the back, noticing the feeling of your inhale, trying to draw it deeper, and noticing the feeling of the exhale, trying to let it go more completely. Feeling all of the points of contact that your body has with the ground, and allowing gravity to take you deeper and deeper into its support with each exhale.
And then taking a deep, slow inhale. Opening up the mouth, exhaling. Inhaling, starting to reach the fingers away from the toes. Exhaling, drawing the knees into the chest. Rocking to the right side. And pressing yourself up to sit. Bringing your hands to your heart, touching base with your intention. May the kindness we wish to see in this world begin with the kindness we extend to ourselves.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.